Hello there, I am Lost Media Junkie. You may know me from my main channel, Studio 95, where I make videos about my childhood through reviews and top 5s and other such things. About a year or so ago, I developed a love for something called Lost Media. And I developed that love through two websites I found, one called Lost Media Archive and the other called Lost Media Wiki. This lets me making a video on my main channel called Top 5 Lost Kids Shows, where I go through 5 Lost Kids shows. A lot of them ended up being pilots for kids shows, but a lot of Lost Kids shows were in there as well. I loved making that video so much that it got me thinking, shit man, I want to talk about Lost Media more. I just didn't know how to. Until around late 2018, where I decided, you know what, I'm going to make a second channel where I can talk about Lost Media all the time. And that is where Lost Media Junkie came into play. Anyways, without further ado, it's time to get into our very first piece of Lost Media. We're going to be looking at an old show from the late 90s to early 2000s titled My Special Book. We'll get more into what the show is about, but to get to that, we are going to talk about the forum where the search for the show began. It started when a Lost Wiki user named Electrified started a thread on July 21st, 2017, which states the following.
So, a user by the name of Scary8 Guy Poole posted in another one of my threads about 2 lost shorts that aired in between shows on Treehouse. The first being Max the Cat Everything, but the intro is lost. But most interesting is the second one, simply called My Special Book. There is virtually nothing about this show online aside from one fairly low quality image posted on some sort of a blog site that is in a different language. However, as soon as I seen said image, I instantly remembered this trippy show. It starred a blue-haired girl who lived in a giant book that would come to life as she opened it. It was full of doors and compartments she would use to store items, and it also came with various different shapes on the walls with different names, voices, and personalities. This bizarre creation aired sometime in the early 2000s and as far back as 2012. There is threads on other sites such as Reddit and Yahoo Answers of people asking what the name of said show is and where they can find it. This is a challenge because aside from the one lone image, there is absolutely nothing about this show online. Such a bizarre show needs to be found. I was hit with a massive truckload of nostalgia as soon as I seen this image.
This started a search as several people posted their findings on the thread, starting with the previously mentioned user Scary8 Guy Poole stating what he remembers the layout of the show being.
Haha, I'm glad to see a post about this. Yeah, this show was odd, very bright colored and trippy as you said. I remember the intro of the show where it showed the actress opening the huge book and saying something like it's story time. Then inside the book there were weird characters / faces all over the walls. Like you said, I remember that doorbell with a face, and then I remember a clock which had a really annoying voice in my opinion. There was definitely many other characters that I don't remember as well. Again, this was a very long time ago I watched this show. The show consisted of the girl telling some short story and communicating with all of the weird characters on the walls. It was a very short show and it ended quickly. I don't remember any of the stories she told. The outro involved her closing the book. I find the total lack of any information / footage of this show pretty strange, especially when most old Treehouse shows are posted on YouTube. There has to be someone out there who was this show on VHS, since this show did run between other shows.
Scary8 Guy Poole then goes on to provide more information on another post he made through the thread providing links. These links show that the show originally aired on YTV as a part of the YTV Junior block that ran from 1998 to 2002. It was a block that showed shows meant for smaller kids and would air while most kids were in school. The block ended in 2002, which was when My Special Book was moved to Treehouse TV. The next post we're talking about was a post made on August 10th, 2017 by a user named Senshi Shun, stating the name of the main character being Book Girl. The post also states her catchphrase, "It's story time, I'm so glad it's story time." This person also states there was a video online at some point, but it appears to be removed. The next bits of information posted try to compare My Special Book to other shows on Treehouse. The shows are Treetown, which was a show about 2 women named Tansy and Rosabelle. They would sing and dance and whatnot. Basically, it was a simple show to keep toddlers entertained. The other show that My Special Book was compared to was Judy and David's Boombox, a show that features songs from the husband and wife duo Judy and David Gershon. This show show was brought up due to its similarity to My Special Book because of the colorful tone. However, both comparisons have been debunked due to an earlier post claiming the show was made by YTV Productions, which these two shows are not part of. As we get deeper into the forum, more information comes out, including that there were 90 episodes and people who worked on the show. A user named Binzu5 posted a LinkedIn link to a man named Richard Broadwell, who turns out was a composer for this show. Binzu followed up with another post revealing the creator of the show, who was a man named Michael Desi. He worked on other short-ran YTV shows such as Chip and Orbit and The Biddles. Both of these people were contacted by some of the posters on the forum, and although both of them had little information, they were able to reveal more people who worked on the show, including a producer named Ellie New York. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2014 due to ALS. But what was also revealed was Book Girl herself, Krista Jackson. Yes, we now know who played her. She was a PJ on YTV. Another actress revealed was another YTV PJ named Jennifer Rassicott, who voiced the puppets used in the show. This didn't lead to much, unfortunately, as afterwards the trail went cold. There were a few minor leads, such as someone possibly knowing the whereabouts of some VHSs that could have footage of the show, but any minor leads led to nothing. This changed though on March 4th, 2018, as the user named Canadian Childhood posted a full list of names of all 90 episodes. He then provided a link to back up his findings. This was the first good lead in a long while and could open up the search if used right. It seems there wasn't much after that, however. The only thing that's interesting now is a friend of user Canadian Childhoods might have a VHS recording of the show as of January 3rd, 2019, though he has yet to find out if his friend has it or not.
And that brings us to where we are today, an extremely lost kids show that people are still trying to find today. I guess it's time to ask the obvious question though, is there a reason it's lost? Well, yeah. I feel this show was lost for a reason, and that reason being this show was made for one reason and one reason only, and that was to fill in a needed space on the channel. Not so much YTV, but Treehouse definitely. There weren't many commercials, only little sponsor ads that would play a few times a day, so they really needed little 5-minute shows to fill in the gaps throughout the day, and that is what I believe My Special Book was mostly designed for. So it was really just made to fill in a gap and entertain toddlers for a little while. It really wasn't made to be remembered. They never put out any DVD releases for a reason, and I think it was really just made to fill in a gap. However, the reason why I wanted to talk about this show was because of the search that's going on. To this day, 20 years after this show existed, there are people looking for it. And it's just really cool, and I really enjoyed looking through this forum and just seeing everything that these people are doing to try and find this show. Both online and going to like libraries and other places where they might archive this type of stuff. It's like a big treasure hunt, and it really intrigues me, and I really hope this show gets found for that reason alone one day, because this search is amazing and it really intrigues me to the point where I would love to help find it myself. Hell, maybe this video will do just that.